Hello everybody and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 3 video. Now today we're going to be discussing a topic concerning missing base game species from Jurassic World Evolution 2 that are going to be added in to Jurassic World Evolution 3. Now this is not news to anyone. However, if you didn't know, the returning base game species from Jurassic World Evolution 2 are going to be coming back for Jurassic World Evolution 3. And there are 19 of them, that being the Crichtonsaurus, Coelacanthus, Torosaurus, Kentrosaurus, Sierradactylus, Oranosaurus, Euoplocephalus, Majungasaurus, Dracorex, Cryolophosaurus, Tylosaurus, Merodactylus, Elasmosaurus, Nigersaurus, Amargasaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Camarasaurus, Leopleurodon, and Pentaceratops. Now, all 19 of these species are going to be coming back as free with full family units, including a male variant and a baby model, throughout the course of Jurassic World Evolution 3's lifespan for free. As confirmed a while back on October 17, the Kentrosaurus is going to be added in first as the first species to be returning to Jurassic World Evolution 3. Over 2 weeks later, on November 4th, we have confirmed that the update that contains the Kentrosaurus is going to be launching next week alongside Update 1.1, which is going to be fixing things such as the console complexity meter, among other things. And we know that Thursday, November 6th, we are going to be getting more updates on that specific update. We don't really know the release date of the update, but we can safely assume that it's either going to be next Tuesday or next Thursday. Frontier usually likes to release their updates on these 2 days, including DLCs and game drops, as of course Jurassic World Evolution 3 dropped on the 21st of October, being a Tuesday. Now, being roughly around 3 weeks after Jurassic World Evolution 3 launched, I do think that it is possible that we could already know how these base game returning species are going to be coming back for Jurassic World Evolution 3. It seems that around a month, we're going to be getting one new species per update. Now, I don't think that every single species is going to be getting an update. For example, I don't think the next species that comes out is going to come out with update 1.2 because I don't really think that that's plausible to be getting like really big updates like that in such short periods of time. However, I do think that we're at least going to be getting a little patch that is going to add in that animal, of course, and maybe like up to 1.15 or something like that. So after the Kentrosaurus, we're going to be having 18 of these species missing. Now, how they're going to be broken up is what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, I do think that every single month we're going to be getting at least one new species coming back for free. Now, what order there are, we don't really know, and it doesn't really matter to be honest, as long as they come back. Now, 18 months, let's say, from now would be May of 2027. Now, this means that this game would have lasted around a little over 1.5 years. Now, I do think that the game should last way longer than that, honestly, because Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2 had pretty short lifespans in all things considered. So I do hope that this game is way longer than both of those combined. A species per month, I think, is a really good idea. Now, the thing is with Jurassic World Evolution 2 and 1 is that there was dry periods. During times when a DLC did not come out, there was like that 3 month gap where it was just kind of dry. There was when the DLC came out, and then that waiting period, and then when the next DLC came out. But in between, it was pretty dry, and however, the player base obviously declined during those times, and obviously it went up during those times. Now, I do think that this has been a problem for Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2, and I do think that dropping one new species per month will be able to keep up the player base at a steady pace all throughout its lifespan. Now, I do really think that they should take this approach. It would keep players coming back every month to try out Jurassic World Evolution 3, to at least try out that new species. Now, with obviously 19 slots, it is going to be a bit sad that we're going to be getting one species per month, but I do think that this is the best way to increase the longevity of Jurassic World Evolution 3, which is what this game desperately needs when compared to its predecessors. The DLC species, we don't really know what they're going to do. We don't know if they're going to be included in DLCs. We don't know if they're going to be added in for free as well after these 19 species are added in, which I do think would probably be our best case scenario. Do I think it's likely? Not really. But if they were to do that, that means we would have 20 other species, and if they were to follow the one species per month, that's 20 extra months, so the game would last at a minimum of 3 years with updates. Now, I don't really think that's likely. However, this would allow those dry periods to be actually more filled up. And in fact, they don't even have to drop it during the month that a DLC comes out. Frontier usually likes to drop their DLCs in certain months, specifically in 3 month gaps, like I mentioned previously, and that is March, in June, in September, and December. For those 3 months, they could just leave it and not include a new species in that update too, because the focus would be on the DLC and the accompanying free update. What they could do is instead just put a species in those 2 middle months. For example, let's say the first DLC came out in December and the next DLC comes out in March. They could drop a species in January and in February, and then they could just keep repeating this pattern for the later on in the month. And I do think that would be way more time consuming and it would take longer for those species to come back. However, that would again increase the longevity of the game. Now, another thing they could do is release them in batches. Now, what they could do is for, let's say, the first DLC that comes up, they release a DLC with, let's say, 4 species just for the sake of argument. And then in the accompanying free update, they also drop 4 species there. So you have 4 species for the free update and 4 species for the DLC, meaning we have 8 species coming into Jurassic World Evolution 3. That would be probably a mixture of returning species and new species. Now, I do think that is also another strategy they could do, but that means that this would only happen every 3 months instead of the every month thing, which again would lead to those droughts between the DLCs and free updates, which I don't really think they should do. And I think that they should stick to the 1 species per month model. I really do think that is the most beneficial and can keep the game alive during those drought periods. Now, another thing for 2 different exceptions, that being the Oranosaurus and Kentrosaurus, are we going to be getting the Camp Cretaceous variants back with them? We don't really know right now. We're going to probably see next week with how the Kentrosaurus is handled, and that will probably decide the fate of the Oranosaurus too. But I really do hope that the Camp Cretaceous model is the one they use for the base family units, because I really do think that the Camp Cretaceous model is superior to the Frontier design. And it seems that for Frontier variants, they don't really give them a male model or a baby model, which kind of sucks, and I really do hope they address that in future free updates. But on the flip side, the Oranosaurus Frontier model I believe is superior when compared to the Camp Cretaceous variant, so that would make me a little sad. But we will soon see next week on how this situation is handled, and I really do hope Frontier takes the 1 species per month approach, as this would keep the game alive for way longer than cluttering them all together in DLCs or the free updates and stuff like that. Either way, I do think that Frontier made a good call by returning these species, and I think it would be an even better call if they brought back all the DLC species for free as well, as that would increase the longevity of the game like by 2 times and would also make the player base much happier. But again, these guys are a company, and at the end of the day, they have to make money, so they will do whatever is more financially beneficial for them. But that's everything for me. What do you guys think of my idea for the returning species, and how do you think they're going to be handled? Do you think that these species are going to be broken up like how I said in 1 species per month? Do you think they'll be in clusters, released every few months? Please let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. But that is everything for me, and I will see you guys later.